KNX, CBS Radio, Los Angeles.
In person, from CBS News in New York, this is Ron Cochran with some people you didn't expect to meet. Governor Jimmy Davis of Louisiana was a hillbilly singer and Western movie actor, and Governor W. Leo Daniel of Texas campaigned from the back of a chuck wagon, picking his guitar and singing a ditty called Pass the Biscuits, Pappy. Pappy was his nickname. And now this sort of thing seems to be creeping slowly northward from Dixie. Until now, we have a state legislator in Iowa who rode into the State House on the wings of song with his thumb on the G-string of his guitar. His name is Paul Knowles of Davenport, Iowa, and he's 36 years old. Before he fell for the glamour of Iowa politics, last year he was an insurance underwriter, but now he represents Scott County in Des Moines. The Iowa legislature is winding up its current session before Representative Knowles picked up his guitar and headed home. Jim Sharrock, WMT Cedar Rapids, asked him about his musical background.
Before I got into politics, I didn't know anything about music at all, but realizing that I might not have the sense of humor, being a rather serious type guy, I thought, well, maybe playing guitar would be a good way to kind of have a sense of humor. Also, all my friends have told me that all politicians are crooks. And so I figured, well, that the reason for this is that somehow people like to think politicians are different than they are because maybe they don't understand them. So the thing to do is to do something different and be a little different in some other way. And so I prefer to be a character with character rather than a crook. So I play the guitar. It gives me a sense of humor and makes me one of the good guys. And they told me when I started out, they said, Paul, well, you're going to have a tough time because your name is Knowles, K-N-O-W-L-E-S. And they said a German name goes a long ways in Scott County. And a lot of the politicians are German. Of course, it's a German county. And I said, well, that might be all right, but I'd see if I couldn't do with a German song instead of a German name. So this is a song I used. Du, blickst mir in Herzen, du, blickst mir in Sinn, du, machst mir viel Schmerzen, weil's nix wie gut ist der bin. Ja, weil's nix wie gut ist der bin. Ja. Well, I found that a German song was 1,200 votes better than a German name. It worked out pretty good. I also had a campaign song that my family and I wrote out. We call it On Top of the State House. On election day, folks, when you go to the polls for state legislature, oh, vote for Paul Knowles. On top of the State House, all covered with gold, you bet they'll remember our candidate Knowles. How do you write your ballads? I don't know anything about music. I know the E is where you start. These are 2 keys. My wife was a music major, too. But then I know the G string, that's famous in American life. We had kind of an interesting time in the Iowa House this session. It seems that many of the bills we discuss, egg grading, and we had 2 fish hooks on the line. We did spend a couple days on egg grading, and I told my wife, Jenny, to come down, and I said, get in on this. There's more to egg grading than you thought there was, and this is as good as a soap opera. Now, I wrote a egg grading ballad here, which kind of wraps up a lot of things, maybe, on the, what we do in the assembly. Out in Des Moines in the assembly, talked about grading eggs down to a T. When I got home, I went out to a farm to see if anything had come to harm. What can I do? What can I say? A rooster won't crow and a hen will not lay. I cannot answer my voters, I fear, who want egg for their breakfast and egg in their beer.